Welcome back to the Primary Election Candidates Forum. We will now be interviewing our City Council Ward 2 candidates. The candidates with us this evening are Councilman Tim Carsrud and Mr. Mike Conway. And here is an introductory statement from our candidates. Candidates, you have 1 minute, and we'll begin with Councilman Tim Carsrud.
All right, well, I thank you for inviting me tonight. Like they said, my name is Tim Carsrud, and I am a 43-year Gillette native. I was born and raised. I'm a third generation. I've got a beautiful wife, Allison. I've got 3 wonderful children, and I've got a little 8-year-old boy that we're in the process of adopting that's on the way. And I've been on the City Council now since January. I was appointed to fill a vacancy in that position, and I've enjoyed the work immensely, and the opportunity that I've had to serve the people of Gillette has been amazing, and I look forward to continuing my service.
Thank you. Mr. Mike Conway.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Mike Conway. I am currently running for City Council Ward 2, for those who do not know me. I have, if you've heard anything off camera, that's me. I have Tourette syndrome, so I apologize ahead of time for any noise or words that come out of my mouth or what you see on here. Years ago, my father brought us here to Gillette, and it's been an adventure ever since. Every day living in Gillette is an amazing and wonderful experience. My father before me was a city councilman in Lander, Wyoming. Wyoming has always been my home, no matter where else I've ever lived, and we keep coming back. And I've always been on the outside looking in when it comes to city matters, community matters, but I feel the time has come, though, to be on the inside and serve my community as my father did before me. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will ask our first question, which is for both candidates. Each candidate has 1 minute to respond, and the question is, what do you hope to accomplish if elected? And we'll begin with Mr. Mike Conway.
Thank you. What I hope to have accomplished by the time I leave office is I would like to see a kind of a shift in how the world sees our community. I recently discovered that there's an actual term called Gillette syndrome, and without going into the details of it, it has to do with how boom towns experience rapid growth with mining industries and the like. And I tend to think people look at us and think it might be, I think people on the outside look as kind of a joke or as an excuse of what not to do, and I'd really like to change that, and that's what I'd like to see done in my term. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Carsrud?
Same question?
Yes.
Okay, well, I think the most important thing as an elected official is to be the voice of his or her constituents, making informed decisions that reflect the people of Gillette. I think it's very important to come into this position and not have an agenda, not have a goal. I think it's just very important to listen to the people. And my goal when I first took this position was to have my ears open and just listen to what these great people of Gillette have to say, how they want their money spent, the projects they want done, and the projects they don't want done. So that's my goal as a city councilman. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will move into our second question. Each candidate has 1 minute to respond, and the other candidate will be given 30 seconds for a rebuttal. Now, these are the questions that were crafted from your questionnaires. The first question goes to Councilman Carsrud. In your questionnaire, you mention, quote, development of infrastructure as one of your top 3 priorities. Please explain this further.
Well, development of infrastructure, we're in the process of the Madison water pipeline. We're being proactive. We want to make sure that this community has, a supple amount of water. as the area expands around Gillette, electricity is important, and we need to build substations that can handle the power supply that the people of Gillette want and need and desire, and we need the roads to go into these new subdivisions that obviously we have to have, because this boom that's coming, we got to have a place for these people, and we've got to be proactive and be ahead of the curve. We've got to be ready and not find ourselves behind the 8 ball, wondering what we're going to do after they get here. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Conway, you have 30 seconds for a rebuttal.
I'm sorry, please repeat the question.
Certainly. In Mr. Karsrud's questionnaire, he mentioned development of infrastructure as one of his top priorities.
Honestly, I'm really not entirely sure how to rebut that. I think we are really experiencing a lot of growing pains, and we do really need to take a good look at, besides the infrastructure, where else can we go with that? Where else is, and especially in terms of, as I've spoken with some other people, non-mineral industries as well. We have to look at that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. This next question is for Mr. Conway.
Thank you.
From your questionnaire, in reference to child care, you said that, quote, helping parents ought to be a duty of the city and a valuable use for 1% tax money, unquote. Could you please elaborate on that?
Yes, I was a graduate of the, at the time it was called the Alternative Transitional Center, and currently it's called Westwood, I believe now, since I've moved back. But when I was there, teenage mothers were able to go in there. They were able to go to school, they were able to work, and yet they were able to have their children taken care of while they were getting the education. And I thought that the program worked so well when I was there. I thought that was just absolutely amazing. I didn't have this same problem, but that these women had, these teenage mothers and fathers. But I wouldn't mind seeing that kind of expanded outward. How can we help parents be able to work and take care of their children, and sorry, and then sorry, I'm going to end that right there. I apologize.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Councilman Karsrud, you have 30 seconds for a rebuttal, if you'd wish.
Well, I feel that child care needs should be provided by the private sector. I think that it's in the best interest of the city of Gillette to not get involved with child care. I think that it is a great opportunity for people to start business. Great opportunity for the private sector to start a daycare and take care of those needs that face Gillette. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will move on to closing remarks. Candidates, you have up to 1 minute for closing remarks or to address any topics that were not covered in the questioning period. Mr. Mike Conway.
Thank you. Well, my father instilled in me a sense of pride, of country, and a need to serve my community. He lived that truth every single day and always inspired me to take action towards making our world a better place to live in. When we talk about how taxes are applied and our city budget is applied, I always feel that taxes should be used to serve the people. It comes from us, and it should be used to serve us. I stand before you today running for city council of this great city, hoping to continue the legacy that my father left behind. I'm dedicated to hearing the needs and concerns of this fine community and to help every way I can if elected to join the Gillette City Council. I would encourage anybody to come to my Facebook page at facebook.com/Mike Conway City Council. Feel free to make your needs and desires known, and I look forward to hearing from anybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Tim Karsrud.
Again, I just want to thank you all for inviting me to this forum. I want to end by just saying that 8 months ago, after a lot of prayer between my wife and I, to throw my name into the hat to fill the vacancy left by Mayor Opseth stepping into that position. There was 12 of us total that put our name into the hat. I was voted on unanimously, chosen by the current council and mayor for a one-year appointment. I've enjoyed the position very much, and I have a lot to learn, and I've learned a lot in the last 7 months. One thing that I know that you know, I can sit before you and I can learn as I go and listen to the people. But one thing that does not need to be taught is just the integrity that was instilled in me by my family and my granddad. So I look forward to serving you. Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes the Ward 2 part of our primary election candidates forum. I would like to remind you that tonight's candidates forum will air several times before the primary election on August 19th. For a complete listing of the GPA's TV schedule, please visit their website at www.gillettewy.gov/GPA. We will take a short break while the candidates from Ward 3 take their positions, and we will be back in 5 minutes.